and welcome to this week's video review session for No Bones About It Puppy Day School. So today we are going to be talking about a couple things. Our new skill that we're introducing this week is leave it. Leave it means it's not yours, you can't have it, you're never getting it. And in conjunction with that, we teach the word take it. We've always been doing find it, kind of from day one when we're working on our name game. We do a lot of treat tosses and go find it. And then again, sort of related, but we're not really working specifically on it today, is the cue drop it. The only difference being that leave it means you don't have it yet, and I don't want you to even think that you're gonna get that. Drop it means simply that you already have something in your mouth and I want you to let go of it. I lump the two of those things together because when we look at them from a training perspective and from a perspective of a dog has to see the value in wanting to repeat a behavior, they need to see what's in this for me. If you look at leave it and drop it, there's generally speaking nothing in it for the dog, right? It's like, why would I really want that thing on the ground, or I really want this thing that I already have and I don't want to give it up. So how do we train that in a way that a dog sees value? So we start with a game that's called It's Your Choice, and it's really simple. There's no words for it. You're gonna see Melissa and I working on it with the dogs. We utilize this particular way of introducing leave it in such a way that it's really clear to the puppy. All we do is we have a handful of kibble and we show it to the dog and we hold it there, and the puppy comes and they're going to try to bite at our hand, they're going to try to lick, they're sniff, they paw at you, they do all these things, and we don't open the fist. And then the minute they back off a little bit, we open the fist. And if they come back in to steal the treats, we close it. We do that as long as it takes, which in the beginning could be minutes, up to 10 minutes I've seen some dogs. And eventually they get frustrated and they pull away while we have an open fist of cookies. And as soon as they do that, we say yes, we mark that behavior, and then we reward the puppy. And all of a sudden they start to figure out, all I have to do is try to not steal this thing, and I get rewarded. Once they're really good at that, we put the treats on the ground. We do the same thing. Once they're really good at that, then we maybe drop a treat. And when we have all of these things really solid with no words, again, it's just a choice game, choose not to steal this, then we can start adding our cue, leave it. The dog already knows the behavior. They know that leaving a thing gets them rewarded. So we start, and then we can start to experiment with different types of treats, different value of things. So that's how we're going to work this. And again, we've done the introductions. You'll be able to see that the dogs have practiced this for a couple days. They're starting to get good at it. So we're going to take a look at that. Then we're also going to show you sort of tag team where we work again with distractions now, multiple dogs in the same training area where we're working on name game, we're working on come when called, so that the puppies are learning to come back and forth even though other people are there, other dogs are there. Okay, so let's get to it. We'll see you in the next video. Okay, so Melissa and I are each going to be working with one puppy at a time, and I know it's really hard for you to see, but I've got a fist of about 4 or 5 treats here, and she's going to be doing the same thing. It doesn't matter if your puppy chooses to lie down, just move your hand down with the puppy. So the idea is you want that treat, you want that fistful of cookies right in front of your puppy's nose, and you're just going to let them watch it, investigate it. Oh. And if they get bored, you're going to open your fist. Yes. And once you have an open fist and they're not trying to steal the cookies, they get a marker word, yes, and then they get their cookie. Oh my God, this is hilarious, the way that Leo has his nose, just like, yes. Yes. Take it. And I'm going to give the word take it as I hand the treat to the puppy. And we're just going to keep repeating this until, yes. And, okay, So here's a little bit of a tricky scenario. When the puppy leaves it, but then I reach in to grab a treat and hand it to the puppy to take it, and then they try to steal it, that's a no-go. I'm gonna, yes. I want no forward motion from that puppy towards my hand, yes. So this is really good, yes. And I just keep repeating the marker word, yes. If that puppy isn't making any motion towards my hand, yes.
Very nice, good job. Very good. How is Louie doing?
He's good.
He's doing
this one.
He's aced it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's step number 1, which is that we have those cookies in our hand. Step number 2 is a little more challenging. We're gonna take a handful of treats and we're gonna put them on the ground. That's a little bit trickier for a dog because usually most things on the ground are fair game for a dog. So I'm just gonna use my hand and cover it up, and you can see that Leo is a little bit more invested in trying to get at this handful of treats. He's really got his nose right here, and what I'd prefer is that he back himself away, which he will eventually do. Okay, now you're not going to be able to see this because he's just adjusted his body, but again, I'm going to just move that little pile of treats just slightly away. Anytime he makes forward motion, I'm going to just cover that pile up. Yes. And if he's not going for it, same thing. I pick one up, take it. Yes. 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 So I do like to integrate the word take it. Take it. Because, and you don't have to do it every time, but take it. But here's what happens. Your dog is going to get so good at this game, believe it or not, that you're going to maybe toss a treat and say, go find it, or you're going to put down their food bowl, and they're not going to move towards it because they're going to be like, oh my God, I know how to do this game. I'm not supposed to take any of that stuff. So I need to have a word that they are, they're familiar with that means you can have it, it's yours. So we use take it. Even like when I'm cooking, you know, if I drop something on the ground and I want my puppy to know, yes, you can have that, because ultimately the goal is that anything should fly off the counter and your dog should just sit there and look at you like, can I have that? And again, you want to have a word that says, yes, you can have that, you can have that, take that, or no, not. Okay? So once you have a puppy that is readily, yes, not trying to steal the that was such a screech. Okay, so once you have a puppy that's readily, oh, see, did you see that nice backup that Leo did? Take it. That is a really good sign. That's a dog that says, I am supposed to remove myself from this scenario. Take it. I can't be even like thinking about taking that pile of treats. Take it. So I love it when the dogs move themselves away. So once we're kind of at this stage where I can put those treats in my hand or I can put them on the ground, the dog isn't going for them, then I'm pretty sure I can start adding that cue leave it with the express intent of only saying it one time. If you find yourself in a position where you're having to say, leave it, leave it, leave it, forget it. You're not there yet, okay? It should be leave it in a happy tone of voice. You don't want to have to sound mad. This is one of those cues that for some reason everybody decides like they have to sound like they're angry with their puppy. And again, if that's where you are going with this, don't use the cue yet. Work on the silent version for a while. So let's trade puppies. Okay, so Melissa has moved on to be the gatekeeper because we have a few puppies that have decided that climbing over the fence and being in the training zone is really the place to be, which is cool. We want them to love being over here, but it is not helpful for our demo. So I'm gonna do a quick little demo of the same exercises with Louie. Again, hands or cookies in my hand. Yes, take it. put those on the ground now. So when we started this exercise earlier in the week, we were just using kibble. Nothing very exciting. Yes, take it. We have moved up to incorporating chicken and cheese in here, which again makes it really challenging. So think about this. I've mentioned before in some of our training videos that anytime you change variables in their routine, it is difficult for them to translate their skills. Meaning, if we train here and then I go train in the house, or if I'm training and then Melissa's training, or I'm training and then you're training. Every time we switch a variable like that, you sometimes, not always, but sometimes you need to go back to the easiest versions of things, because the puppies are not very good at what we call generalizing. That's something that we do as the puppies get better. We try to switch up and make things as different as possible when they really understand what it is that we're working on. So I'm only pointing that out because when you start this, and quite frankly, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that your timing probably isn't gonna be as good with this. Like you're learning how to do this as well. So you're probably not gonna be quite as skilled, and so you might wanna start with kibble. Start with the less exciting stuff until you get comfortable and good at this, and your puppy's then comfortable and good working with you, and then work up to the more difficult stuff, okay? All right, so again, I call the version in my hand version 1. I call the treats on the ground version 2. Version 3 is when we add movement to these things, and I'm adding my cue. So I'm going to start again with the ones on the ground. I'm going to say leave it. And I'd really like Leo to get his nose away from my hand so he's not just like hovering right over there. It's too tempting. I moved him just an inch or two away. Take it. I'm not going to move to version 3 till my dog doesn't even attempt to go for these treats on the ground in, say, like, 5 or 10 repetitions. Escapee! Even the gatekeeper can't keep her in. She's wild.
God, she is.
She's wild. You should see how fast she can climb that fence. You should just be happy none of your dogs can do that. Good girl. Or girl. You're a boy. Look at that handsome, masculine face. Okay. Yes, that's really nice. Again, how he's... Oh. So, and again, pretty common where they get one cookie and they think, oh, this exercise is over. Take it. Good job. So version 3 is where I take, and I'm going to use a piece of kibble here. I can't actually find a piece of kibble in here. That's okay. I'm going to take this, I'm going to show it to the puppy. I'm going to say leave it, and I'm going to drop it. I'm just going to start a couple inches away. Leave it. Take it. And then I'm going to hand him a treat from a different hand. Okay? That little bit of movement, again, because it sort of kicks in that instinct for them to go after something that moves really hard. Leave it. I'm kind of prepared to take it. Guard this if it rolls. I'm also on a little bit of a hill, so this makes it tricky. Leave it. Yes. Take it. So I'm starting it a little bit further away. Leave it. Oops, see, I knew that was going to happen. Leave it. So hard when it rolls right by them. Leave it. Yes. Take it. Good job. Okay, so that's version 3, and then I start adding higher, more. I stand up. When I stand up, I'm going to practice that a little bit with Poppy, because standing up, you become less of a sort of a protector of the treats in the puppy's eyes because you've removed yourself by some distance. So that becomes trickier. So I'm going to show you what that looks like with Poppy.
Okay, good job. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, so here we are with Poppy. So I'm going to demonstrate both of but with me standing up. So I'm gonna have my treats in my hand, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I was amazed. Poppy is the craziest food like eater I've ever seen, and I thought this was gonna be so hard for her. She caught on really quickly. I'm only kneeling down because it's easier for me to, hey, leave it. Yes, take it. So here we go, take it. I got my treats on the ground, and this is also what I love. When we're practicing this exercise, take it, and a dog is giving me eye contact, there's a pile of chicken on the ground right here. Yes, take it. And she's looking right at me. That is an indication that my dog really understands the value of leaving something, because I'm gonna reward the dog with something of equal or greater value. Take it. And that's really what this is about. When I stand up, I can use my foot because I can't get down there fast enough. Oops. And again, now she's sort of taken notice. Oh, and this is the first time we practice with me standing up. Yes, take it. And when the dog isn't sitting or lying down, this also makes it more difficult because, again, we've changed a variable. The dog's standing up. They're not in a planted position like sit or down. Take it. Do you see that? You see that? Leave it. Leave it. Very good. Yes. Take it. Very good. So that's a really good description with all these different pups of how we can work through our leave it, take it exercises with versions 1 in the hand, 2 on the ground, 3 dropping stuff, and then repeating that whole sequence while you're standing up. And then the better the puppies get, we can start to add distance. So not only I can get further away and the treats are closer to the dog and I'm moving myself away, the dog should not have to, or should not feel like that's an invitation for them to steal. Also then we'll start working in walking by piles of treats while the puppy is on a leash and cueing them to leave it, so that we can really practice that in a more practical scenario. Like we're out on the street, there's something gross, we're on a trail, there's horse poop, there's deer poop, whatever it is. You should say leave it, your puppy should just walk on by, okay? Really an awesome exercise for these puppies to learn at an early age, and you will find it so useful throughout your puppy's life.